Hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Pounds and Inches, board game review series where we bring you reviews on board games and then updates on our health goals.
All right, so previously, if any of you guys have kind of been following along, we would bring you guys a new episode anytime either I lost a pound,
Or I lost an inch.
and so that kind of became a little bit challenging. We hit some hard times, and I tend to stress eat, and we stopped making reviews for a long period of time. So we're going to change our format a little bit, if that's okay with you guys, and I think it's going to be kind of cool. So instead of, periodically based off of, weight loss, happening or not, we're just going to bring you guys reviews just whenever we feel like it. We're going to do at least 2 a month, probably more.
Yeah, and then with those reviews, we'll also give a little update of how we are doing health-wise, just so we still have that accountability in place.
Yeah, and we want to talk about, board games and health and where they cross, the cross section in between them.
And we also want to bring other sorts of reviews, like how do we play games with kids, or what kind of games, if we are hosting a game night, what would different between hosting a game night between gamers and hosting a game night between people who aren't gamers, or just subject conversations.
Yeah, so not only we're going to be talking about just board game reviews, but just having special episodes, kind of like this one, where we just bring to you guys a topic of whatever we kind of feel like. And then also, when we do hit those weight loss milestones, or those inch milestones that we've been hoping to work towards, we're going to bring on a special guest and talk about additional games that are not in our collection that we get to review, and talk about games that they own and they want to talk about as well. So
Yeah, as I'm sure everybody has in their gaming group games that they like to play that they don't own, that somebody else in their gaming group owns, and so we want to include those people in this as well.
exactly. All right, so 2018, it was a great year for gaming, and it was an okay year for weight loss. Let's talk a little bit about what happened. So what are what was your favorite game that was new to us this year? Not necessarily brand new, released in 2018, but what game that was new to us did you like?
Yeah, the game that I liked that was new to us this year was Legacy: The Testament of Duke de Crecy. Yeah, by Michael Hendricks and published by Portal Games. We're not going to go into detail about it because we'll like to do a review of that in the future, but I really liked how the game progressed and how they did generations and how kids grew up, all that stuff. But we'll talk about it more later.
Awesome. Mine was Amerigo by Stefan Feld. We love Feld, and I had a feeling I was going to like it, and I was not disappointed. That Cube Tower is choice. All right, so best gaming moment of the year.
So I really enjoy how our firstborn is starting to play some family games with us now. I'm not one that negates kids games. I love kids games. I think that I will never try and push our daughters to play more complex or more strategy games. You're not going to be playing Gula Gula with a bunch of 30-year-olds, so you might as well enjoy it now when they're younger. That's my philosophy. However, with that said, it is really fun to see her brain work and function on other games. I think so far this year it's been Love Letter, Ticket to Ride, Roll for It. Has there been another one that you've introduced
Pitch
her?
Car, I think it's dexterity based or numbers based, like Racco. Anything
Yeah.
that's not text heavy,
Yeah.
she can pretty much figure out, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and we don't, like I said, we don't force any of this on her. She just sees us playing these games, and then she wants to play them. So that's how we go with that. So that's been really fun to watch her grow and develop as a gamer and as a person.
Yeah, and just like how we taught her with simple games like Go Away Monster, they're cooperative and they're kind of teaching simple things like how to take turns. Our 1-year-old now, our toddler, is able to kind of figure out little things like that when we're playing Go Away Monster. It's a great intro starting game, and it's really fun to watch her kind of figure out, okay, just take one thing at a time, and okay, now it's sister's turn, and so that's fun to watch.
And then you also participated in our local gaming convention.
Yeah, there's the QC Game Fest. So if you're in the Midwest area and you want to check out a small to medium-sized convention, a few hundred people, all passionate about games, check it out. I had a really great time. I demoed and taught Agricola, Merlin, and the Castles of Burgundy. All were great successes and had a lot of fun, and I think everybody at the tables did too.
And then another thing that I'm really happy about in 2018 is we have almost finished season 2 of Pandemic. And so we have 2 other guys that we played with, and it's hard to work around schedules because the other 2 will work like 24-hour shifts and just have really weird schedules. So the fact that we've been able to meet enough times to be in December and we're so close to seeing that finish line, it's been an adventure and I really like it. And it's really emotional. And it's nice to have those emotions with all of us.
Yeah, so one thing that we did this past year was to kind of, we had a list of all the games that we own. And our goal was to play through every single one of them. The ultimate goal was to kind of weed some of them out. We've got just this one shelf behind that you see us behind us, and this one smaller one of the kids' games. And that's all we're ever going to have. That's kind of our limit to ourselves is we don't want to be collectors of games that we don't play. We want to have the games that are fun, that we will play, that people ask for.
Essentially, we want our shelf to be full of games that we'd be willing to play at any moment. Not games that we're just iffy about or we pass over, or there's a different game that does the same thing better and we always played that one instead of this one. We just want to have our collection, our physical collection, just be things that we always want to play.
Yeah, so we went through, we played every game on our list. There's a few that we didn't get to, and if we didn't play it in a year, chances are we're not going to. We avoided it for some reason, so that's going to go away. And there was games that we have played that we decided, you know what, this is not for us, so okay, that's going away too. Make room for future games that we will like and will play.
There's also one game that we played that I was convinced I hated, and when we played it again, I really liked it. Like the third time around, it changed my opinion of it.
So that's cool. I like, having a medium, smallish kind of size collection allows you to get multiple plays in, so you're not always chasing the new hotness, and then you've got all these expensive games taking up all this space. We want to have new games, and but we also want to play those new games more than just the one time or two times.
And it's kind of a lot of our houses like that. So I really like coffee mugs, but we have implemented, he didn't make me, I did it to myself, a 1 in, 1 out policy. So when I get a new one, that means I have to get rid of one. And I do that with my clothes. And so we're just going to be doing that with our games, 1 in, 1 out.
Not truly minimalistic, but our version of it. All right, so 2019, that's going to segue into our 2019 goals. My 2019 goal for our gaming collection is I want to have no unplayed games on the shelf, with the exception of games we get in, let's say, December as a presents or whatever. But other than that, I want to have every game on our shelf be games that we've played and we like. By doing that, I think it's going to help cull our shelf even more, make room for new games. I know we've got games coming on Kickstarter, and there's going to be purchases and at Gen Con and other conventions, and we just want to make room for those things and have some fun with them. Also, I've got a board game that I'm trying to design, and so I've got a mostly finished product, and I want to have a completed prototype professionally mocked up by the end of the year. It's one of my personal goals.
And then I do have a few goals as well. I just want to pause right here to explain what I mean by goals. I know a lot of people do New Year's resolutions, but I actually take a couple hours at the beginning of every year and kind of map out my whole year, and I come up with goals, and then I come up with plans to achieve those goals. And then this year I'm implementing monthly goals with a weekly goal to help me achieve my monthly goal. And if I don't do stuff like that, then these goals just won't happen. So I come up with a plan in place for me to achieve these said things. So I don't, that's why we're calling them goals and not resolutions. They're something we're trying to achieve, not something that we can just give up on January 3rd. So mine is I want to play 12 new games this year. So it averages to 1 game a month, which I think I had already done this year, but I just want to be consistent about that because, side note, a little something about me, I hate learning games. I really do. Ryan knows this. I really hate it. It's easier now that I've played games for so long because there's basic mechanics that just repeat themselves in games. But gosh darn it, I hate it. So that's why it's a goal for me. I want to make myself have that goal. I want to play games at least twice a week, which is also a challenge for me. When I see a task in our house that needs to be done, I can't enjoy playing games until that's resolved. Whether that be the girls need to take a bath, or I need a meal prep for tomorrow, or any of that stuff. When there's other tasks that need to be accomplished, I can't enjoy playing games. And so that's why I have to set that as a goal, that this is something that I want to do, because it's good for us to spend time together with doing something that we enjoy. And it's also good for the girls to be around us doing something that doesn't involve a screen. So it's good for me to set that goal for myself. And then lastly, and we mentioned this earlier, but it's kind of a goal for me that I want to do no less than 2 videos a month, which I'm sure we'll be able to do, but that is one of my goals.
Just to make sure we have to map it out as we schedule it in.
Yeah.
And others will happen just naturally, but we want to make sure we nail it minimum 2 a month.
Yeah, and since this is a dual video series, we also have some health goals we would like to achieve.
Yeah, I know I was disappointed with how I finished 2018, so I'm going to try to start off 2019 strong, and I know that weight loss goals are some of the easiest to give up on a weekend when it gets hard, when it gets tough. So I have kind of the same thing I've mapped out. I know on Board Game Geek there is a weight loss challenge that happens every season. I've already signed up for the winter one, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's a lot of accountability, a lot of motivation. It's super exciting for me, and I'm gonna stick to it and nail it. And I'm gonna do that for every season. I've got some plans with my dad. We're gonna work out a little bit. We're gonna do some challenges, like for instance for January, I'm gonna do no added sugar in any of my foods, which I've never done before, and I'm pre-diabetic, so I mean it can only be good if I land that. So
yeah, but with the Board Game Geek, you want to start lower, right?
Right. I mean, so it's probably inevitable. There's going to be some kind of stair stepping down some plateaus, but each one of those challenges, I want to start lower than the previous one. So that way, there's always downward pressure. I'm always pushing myself to go downward and downward. So yeah, that's kind of one of my plans.
My biggest plan, instead of having something like the half marathon, which I really like training for, I want to focus on something smaller, kind of. I want to be able to do a 5K in under 31 minutes. For those who run consistently, I'm actually a pretty slow runner. I enjoy it, so people think I'm faster. But when I'm at my peak season, I hover around an 11-minute mile, and I want to be able to shave a minute off of my mile. And I know that it's going to mean not just racking up my mileage, but doing tempo runs and doing hill repeats and doing things like that, and not just focus on mileage. So that is my big goal, to be able to do a 5K in under 31 minutes. And hopefully, if work is kind, I will achieve that goal at Orkstomp.
Orkstomp, for those that don't know, is a 5K run that happens at Gen Con every year. So that's kind of where the health and board games meet, which is...
Side note, that's where I have my current PR, is from that race like 4 years ago. So I want to be able to do better. I want to beat it.
Well, very cool. Thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us, even though we've been took a little hiatus there in the fall last year. We're back. We're back consistently, and then we're back with good plans and goals for both board gaming and for health. If you have any board game goals or any health goals, let us know. We'd love to hear it in the comments. Subscribe to us. We'd love to kind of follow your progress along too. Hopefully we can motivate each other to where we want to be this year.
All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.